Hello, good evening, and a very warm welcome to Rangers Radio.
Well, good evening, welcome to Rangers Radio. John, myself, Fixture on the show this evening is the one and only AK and the legend that is Albert. Evening, boys.
Evening, Oxshire. Evening, Albert. Evening, Rangers Radio listeners.
Evening, mate. How are you doing? How are you doing?
All right, mate. How are you, mate? How are you? Now you've had time to reflect, Albert.
I'm in a worse mood than I was on Sunday. After the stuff that's coming out now, mate. Aye, I'm not any happier, put it that way.
Still through the straw, you not quite managed any solids yet?
No solids yet, mate. No solids yet. No beef for a couple of days either.
That's not unusual.
What about yourselves?
Stuff, is it?
No. It's not just football. I don't eat solids. Know what I mean?
Victoria sponge through a straw. It's impossible to think about it. You care.
He'll try his best. A wee bit of vanilla ice cream that usually goes down well.
Right, AK, we've not heard from you, so we've had our initial thoughts. I've been on the last couple of nights, obviously, but get it off your chest, AK. The floor's yours, and then Albert can come in now that he's in time to reflect and calm down. Oh, not. AK.
I'd take you up to the tune, but I need some disclaimer forms off you. It's obviously disappointing. Gutted that the final outcome was no lifting the trophy, but I'm not what I say proud of that, because pride comes with when you're winning, basically. But I thought that the team played above what most of us thought, particularly 3-4 weeks ago when a lot of your own support was writing us off, never mind them or anybody else. But I thought the team acquitted itself very well. I thought it was set up very well. There was a bit of question marks about the selection, but in essence, I thought Clement picked the right team. He picked the right tactics. I thought we deserved to win the cup. I'll be honest with you, mate. I know we'll speak about it, but the couple of decisions, I feel a bit cheated. That'll be the honest way.
Aye. Listen, mate, you're right. Some of our own called supporters, mate, who white flags up, and I get it. I get the frustrations. I don't understand it, but I understand when you look at our team after the Dundee United game. I was frustrated myself, but since then, Albert, we have seen continuous improvement. We've started scoring goals, which changes games.
Aye, mate, that's what we're looking for. We've already said that. We know we had a big job today, starting this season. And at the beginning, it wasn't good. Nobody's trying to pretend it was good. It wasn't good. No, and the football was turgid, and it was
awful,
horrible.
mate. It was awful.
It was awful. It was.
Aye.
And nobody's pretending otherwise. I'm talking about the people like ourselves who stuck up for Clement to a certain degree. But what we understood was that there's a job today, and it just takes time, and it doesn't happen overnight. There's a lot of steps in the process to make Rangers great again, to coin a phrase. And that's all we were saying. Just give the guy time. Just let's see what he's going to do. Now you actually can see wee steps. We're not there yet. Absolutely no there. And no winning cups and cup finals is not acceptable at any time, mate. We know that. Clement knows that. The team will know that as well, because I'm sure when they come back into training this week, whenever that is, if they're already back in, I think they'll get a couple of days off. He'll tell them, don't listen to the rubbish that you're going to get told. Oh, you played great. Your hard luck, couple of decisions went against you. All this nonsense and all the crap it's going to get spoke. Just don't allow the noise outside to get to you and kid you on that you're a good team. You're not a good team yet. You'll never win the cup. Winning the cup makes you a good team, or starting a good team. So you never win the cup. You did play well. We put some amount of effort in it. That's all true, mate. But you didn't win the cup. So he'll bring them back down to earth, mate, and say to them, look, don't let them blow smoke up your trumpet, by the way. You just get your feet back in the ground, and we need to keep improving. And I'm sure that's what he's going to do, and I'm sure that's what the squad's going to do.
Was the point you're making, AK, that people thought the Thursday-Sunday game, potentially any score you like against Tottenham, and then we would be downbeat, and then we would go to the cup final, and it wasn't worthwhile turning up. Well, it turned out it was a classic. It didn't go their way in penalty kicks. I think it's only the third time one of our games against them went to penalty kicks. I think Dryborough Cup semi-final in the Scottish Cup 2016 in that one, yeah.
That's right, aye.
So you've got that. So people thought, this is going to be sore, and it turns out we've competed in both games. Could have won both games. People might argue we should have won both games, yeah. Dessa scores. We scored the 4-1, yeah. 2-0 up. That's a different game, yeah. So there's in this big negative and this cloud, and we're all been sick after Sunday. I get it, but there is some positives that we're improving. Guys are standing up. Young Raskin, who had a horrendous start this season with that tackle on the friendly in Ajax, he's playing out his skin. Diamandi showed he's a decent football player. Jeffrey's improving. We've got a young boy, Igaman. Time will tell, mate. It looks as if he's got the X factor. He's going to do some wonderful things and frustrate you at the same time. We've got Hadji, who's improving. Bajami's got skill. Cherny's a great football player. Harry Moose, great football player. So there's a lot of things to look at. Danilo's coming back into the team, AK, and forcing somebody to be the third choice striker, and maybe rightly so. So the manager's getting a lot right, but that'll no water if he doesn't win the next 4 games.
Absolutely, and you called it. There is signs of improvement, but in essence, there was a trophy up for grabs there, and unfortunately, because we didn't take it backwards, people put that as a negative against Clermont. That's him lost, or hasn't won 6 against them, 1 draw, 5 defeats. How do you survive as a Rangers manager? Well, when you look back at the 6 games that he's played against Celtic, we've only played one of them at Ibrox, fact. 2 of them at Hampden, fact. 3 of them at Celtic Park, fact. The 2 of them at Hampden, we've been cheated for me. We've the disallowed goal with Sima in the Scottish Cup final last year to take the lead. That first goal was vital, and obviously what happened at the weekend there with the Cherny no allowed, no getting the penalty, plus the Kuhn with taking out Diamandi and then running on to score for the third gene. So for me, it's no wonder the manager feels aggrieved about all these decisions. And I heard you last night. I've watched a lot of forums and that today. It's not just this year. It's not just this manager. It's happened under Bill. It's happened under Gio. It's happened under Gerrard. Gerrard called it out as well and get lambasted after the press. You can't say things like that. Blah blah blah. Well, why no? Because it's happening far too much. So I'm glad our new CEO's come in today and called the SFA into question to look into it, mate. But things are shoots are there definitely.
Welcome to Scottish football, for the Patrick Stewart.
It beat me up, Scotty.
Right, I'm all burning it. AK's mentioned the CEO. We've got a quick interview with him. We just want to let people hear it, and then we'll let you come in. I'll give you time to blow into Bridges' brown paper bag that he left for last night, yeah?
Okay, go for it.
All right, let's hear for the new CEO, Patrick Stewart.
Patrick, welcome to Rangers Football Club. What's it mean to you to be here now?
It's a huge honour, Louise. I've been working in football for 25 years and I've been fortunate to walk into Old Trafford for 18 of those years, but the goosebumps I felt when I walked into the Bill Street main stand for the first time was unlike anything I've experienced. You can feel the heritage. Then when you combine that with the club's amazing fan base, obviously the iconic stadium, I'm incredibly excited. Obviously it's somewhat bittersweet though, because Yesterday was my first day, and we're still licking our wounds from the Sunday. It was a disappointing manner of defeat. We can take a huge amount from it. And so there's a lot to be optimistic about, I think. But so yesterday was something of a bittersweet day. Really excited to be starting the role, but disappointed it wasn't with a trophy in the cabinet.
In your view, what kind of challenge are you taking on here in the job at Rangers?
There's a lot we can be really proud of in terms of, what's been achieved so far under perhaps some trying circumstances over the past 7 months in particular. I think there's been no secret that on the park, we're not where we want to be in terms of trophies. Off the park, the AGM results, were there for everyone to see. And also, from a perception perspective, I think sometimes the wider perception for Rangers hasn't been where we want it to be. So there are challenges there, but equally, we've got some really strong foundations to build from. I've spent the past couple of days meeting with staff and colleagues, and we've got some really brilliant, engaged, passionate people here. So that is already a great start. We've seen what the men's first team has been doing over the past few weeks in terms of turning around the season, and you can see real progress there. And then obviously the women's first team as well. Disappointing result on Sunday, but right up there challenging for the league title and looking good to win that cup back.
The club, of course, announced Fraser Thornton as chair over the weekend too. What have your discussions been like with him in these early stages, and how will your roles differ moving forward?
So I've had really good discussions with Fraser. I had my initial discussion with him a couple of weeks ago, and really had a good connection with him. So I'm excited about Fraser starting. I'm meeting with him again today. And we'll I'm sure dive into lots of different issues. In terms of how our roles differ, I guess very high level, Fraser's a non-executive chairman and I'm an executive CEO. And what that means essentially is that day to day, I'm going to be in the club, running the club, looking after the operational matters, whereas Fraser's non-exec, which means he's more one step removed. Now, clearly, whatever I'm doing day to day, I have to operate within a framework that's agreed with the board and with Fraser, and I'm accountable to the board and to Fraser. But day to day, it'll be me that is coming into Ibrox, coming to Auchenhowie, and helping drive the club forward.
You did touch a bit on the football earlier there. How do you view where that's at just now?
So as I said, I think there's been a lot for us to be cautiously optimistic about in recent weeks. I know that the signings we made in summer are starting to really bed in and play with a degree of confidence. And in fairness to Philippe, he said it would always take time. And I think we're always saying, well, when will that time come? And we've seen that come in the last few weeks. So the match against Spurs, I think really showed Rangers going head to head with a top Premier League side, and really it was a match that I think we all felt as though we should have won. And also the performances in the SPFL have been really positive. We're scoring, we're not conceding. Of course, the cup final, I don't want to dwell on that again, but that was could have been such a memorable day. So I think there's a lot to be positive about there. The manner in which we lost was hard to take. As I think people will know, I have spoken with the SFA to ask for an explanation about the non-awarding of a penalty in extra time, and so I'll wait to hear what the SFA have to say about that. And again, mustn't forget the women's team, who have really had a very consistent season so far, and Sunday was an anomaly for them, but really positive about the work that Joe and Donald are doing there.
As you begin your new role, what's your message to the supporters at this point?
And I've been really taken aback by the passion of the fan base. Football fans are passionate, but the passion and the commitment and the loyalty shown by Rangers fans is something else. It really has taken me aback. Fans are the lifeblood of any football club, and I think that's none more so the case than for Rangers Football Club. So their voice, bringing them with us, working together with them, that's a really important part of sort of a well-running football club. So I do intend to be visible and communicate with the fans. Equally, I think they would want me doing the job and not just spending all my time speaking to them. So the challenge for me is to find that rhythm where I am communicating with them, getting their thoughts and feedback, equally being able to explain things to them where the club's going from a vision and strategy perspective, whilst at the same time, you're making the space and the time to actually get on with things, which is what I think the fans would want me to be doing.
Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972. It's your show, it's your platform. Let's hear from you.
Well, very professional. I didn't realise he's a lawyer to trade. I think that could be a big asset. And obviously, born in Scotland, maybe understands the culture, educated at Glasgow Uni. So he'll know what happens in the city, mate, and what we're dealing with. Alberry's wrote the letter. Do you think if you sent him a list, he could attach it?
No, it's a list. I'm telling you, you'll need a big envelope, a really big envelope. But aye, I'd rather a lawyer. I didn't know he was a lawyer. I'd rather he'd be a centre-half than a lawyer right enough. There you go.
I know what you mean, mate. I know what you mean.
But he's, he sounds as if he's switched on anyway, mate. It's unfortunate he has to deal with this crap. His first day in the job, know what I mean? But there you go. That's just the way it is up here, isn't it? It's just part and parcel of it.
And Mr. Muir and Mr. Connor, everything they're going to get, and all the questions and integrity. AK used the word cheating well. That's a couple of cup finals now that Mr. Connor's been involved with decisions in the same area of the park and got them wrong. One as a linesman when it was 3 offside and let it go. And now he's in VAR and got that wrong as well. You know, so I question his background and is he unbiased? Because that's all we're looking for the officials. But understand, it's a fast game. You'll get decisions right. VAR's there to maybe improve that all bit. But when you're consistently
that's the problem, mate.
You're consistently getting decisions right. I question people's integrity, mate.
And he's I believe he's in a Celtic supporters organisation as well. So I'm not saying he's a cheat or anything, but it doesn't look well, does it? It definitely doesn't look well.
Integrity. Yeah.
Oh, of course, mate, of course, and rightly so. The trouble is, it's a fast game, but it's not a fast game for VAR, is it?
You can slow the game down. You can also take as long as you like.
Exactly. But first of all, you have to look at the incident rather than just saying 5 seconds. Nothing to see here. Didn't take them long to come to that decision, did it? Mr. Muir is also, I believe, very questionable loyalties. He's definitely not a Rangers fan. You can't say that. But there you go. I mean, my problem with these guys, we're all saying they're no cheats or no this or no that. There's no conspiracy theory and all that carry on, and it might all very well be true. But what we've got to understand is, I believe that these officials are terrified, and I mean terrified, to get anything against that mob. Just terrified. And it's not just Rangers, by the way. Let's get this out there right now. It's other teams as well that experience what we're experiencing. We just seem to get more than our fair share of it. And it's something that's blatant, and they don't really care anymore now. They're just doing it, and that's the end of it. But if these officials are terrified to get against them, and I think they are, mate, that in itself is cheating, mate, because they need to come clean on this and say, look, we are definitely getting influenced by. We know what's going to happen with our families.
You mean the team that's caused the referee strike, yeah?
Aye, of course, mate. Okay, and it's the team that brings up referees at their AGM and calls for no more penalties, basically, for Rangers.
That's what they call for. Was it true, yeah?
Aye. But no, we get for blatant penalties turned down. They don't even look at them. St John's, the one recently, is just one of many. They just don't look at them and go, nah, because Sutton called for it. The AGM, their AGM called for it, and all of a sudden they all fall into line because it's spoken by them. They've said it must happen, so it's all going to happen now. And you look at it, red cards, yellow cards as well. 8 Rangers players get booked on Sunday. 8 Rangers players get booked. Right, 3 of theirs, 8 Rangers. 6 of the starting 11 get booked. You're looking at it. Big Bally get booked in 24 minutes because McGregor told Beaton to book him, and that's why you get booked, mate. Then you get Jeff to get booked for nothing, mate. They're trying to come out and say, as Big Alex said earlier on, they're trying to come out and say that they ran their studs down the back of the guys. It's just not happening, mate. It's just lies. So he gets booked in 27. So there's 2 of your defenders booked right away. And you're sitting going, wait a minute. And then within that 90 minutes or 100 minutes, there were 6 Rangers. Then the 2 subs get booked. They had 3 players booked. The first booking they got was in 77 minute, mate. McGregor gets away with 2 or 3 and 1 real blatant professional foul. Right? He lets Hadji go. He tries to assault Hadji. Hadji gets by him, tripping. Doesn't he come in? He plays advantage, which wasn't an advantage. He's supposed to come back and book McGregor. Nah, we're not bothered doing that. That guy can do what he wants, by the way. Him and Vickers run the games. Let's be honest about it, mate. Him and Vickers run the game. Right. So they done a fair bit of refereeing on Sunday. So they must be tired.
They've definitely done their badges, mate. They've done their badges. AK.
I'm glad you get that after your chest, Albert.
Well, that's only the start of it. You've not heard the rest.
Oh, no. I'm looking forward to it.
List.
Listen, can I just take you back to the start of the season? Willie Colm got appointed head of referees, believe it or not, after the debate we had with the VR decision last year, if you remember, with the blatant Alistair Johnson handball that never was, and then 39 minutes later we got an offside decision, so that was it, brushed under the carpet there. So anyway, the SFA decided to appoint Willie Colm as head of referees. Now, Howard Webb is in the same position at the FA down south, and there was a wee bit of debate with some of their referee call, so they decided with a vote, whatever, so true supporters clubs or the clubs themselves, that referees down south had to provide any allegiances that they've got to the who they grew up supporting, basically. Willie Colm vehemently denied that should ever happen to question the integrities of the referees in Scotland. I think now we know why. And he also denied, by the way, it was still a handball there. He still denied it. No, it was an offside. This is what we're dealing with, a cabal.
Aye. Yeah. Nothing to see here. And the narrative is also done in the media. Yeah, and some of my own support for it, mate. You know, the narrative comes out early. It comes out and it's in the press, and then it's all pointed towards some radio stations so that they can drive the narrative, mate. Some people can see through it. Some people can't. Right. Look.
Well said, Ox. Well said.
Look, how do I put this? Look, there is, Albert made the point at the start of the show, EK, there is improvement. We're getting there, right? We've lost a game in penalty kicks. We've hit the target 5 times in penalty kicks. That's 10. The last 2 penalty shootouts, we've hit the target 10 times and no one. But it's just sometimes they're lucky the blue, as they say. But however, there's big moments in that game. And there is a big moment in that extra time. I get that. Never noticed it live. My honour. I don't know if you did. AK, I never noticed it live.
The Diamondi trip are you talking about?
Both that and the Tierney.
Oh, yeah. No, I didn't notice. I just thought it was the foul actually was outside the box, but after seeing the stills and the run backs, it's obvious he's fits on the line, and that is the rule. Rangers Review done an interview with Mike McCurry today, and he reiterated again, a Grade 1 referee, that if a foul occurs outside the box and carries inside the box, and the line is deemed as inside the box, then it should be a penalty kick. There's no denying that. Absolutely no debate about that whatsoever. The Kuhn trip for me, I think, when I seen Diamondi sitting in the deck and I wondered why he was there in the first place. And then, you know, you play it back and you see Kuhn makes contact with him, and you go back to, you said it last night, the Dessers goal that we had denied, they go back, what, 90 seconds, 2 minutes? That was within about 5 seconds of Kuhn putting that in the back of the net, where they had to run it back, and VR didn't get themselves involved in that one either. Ridiculous, mate. Absolutely scandalous.
Yes. Albert?
I mean, what do you say, mate? We've watched it for long enough, mate, and it's the one with Kuhn on Del Monde. It's a foul all day long, mate. It's an absolute foul. He knows it. Beaton is game. People are saying he had a good game. I'm saying a good game. He misses the penalty, he misses the foul, and he doesn't stop Schmeichel doing what he's doing, John Jeremy Conda. He lets it all go, mate. And people are saying he had a good game. I'm saying, I must have watched a different game for I'm watching. I'd like to see the referees having good games. I'd like not to talk about referees. It'd be great. But the fact of the matter is, you've got to do it, mate. It's just the way it is. You've just got to do it. But there is incidents that we were in our control, mate, that we didn't do well in, and we've got to face that fact as well. The 4-on-1 situation needs to be spoken about, mate, because that's pathetic. That's pathetic with the players. Really, honestly, bad football. And then there's the one. What was the other one? There was another one I can't remember now because I'm still thinking about referees.
When Balogun was running through, and so passed it.
Aye, that was it. Balogun. You know, he needs the days past it. I'm not saying you're going to score for it, but you've got to pass the ball. I'm saying, where are you running to? What did you? Even if you get by that last player, where are you running to? You're running out to the corner flag. Pass the ball. Egerman standing there. Get past the ball to him. Centre forward. Give him the ball. No, I'm going to keep on. This is the bit I don't get. What's happening in the coaching side that when you get to Auchenhowie, these scenarios never crop up in the training games and things like that, mate. Obviously not, because you think we'd be practicing it. But the 4-on-1 was the worst at the moment. That was the worst at the moment. What was your thoughts on that?
AK, you've heard mine. I thought at the time it'd be a big moment. I'm still stuck with it. AK.
Aye, no, listen, I think it's maybe a wee bit of inexperience at Iganami, running through. See if he slows his run slightly, just ever so slightly stride. He can look maybe both left and right to see what his options is. He's running basically with his head down.
It's no balls he's playing and somebody's getting a wee Johnny and putting it down for you, mate. It's all split seconds.
I know. But
there's runners, and what we don't know is who shouted for the ball and who didn't. Yeah, he's not got eyes in the back of his head. It's split seconds.
I know.
The ball should have went to Cherny, mate. Yeah.
I know 100%, but I was just trying to explain that. He only really sees Bajrami to his right-hand side. If he just slightly checks his run and lets Carter Vickers run on it, could see Cherny.
You've been playing too much FIFA, mate.
But it would have gave him an option to see he actually had 2 runners to his left, and I think he would have chose that option. But it's easy in hindsight now, but it was definitely, if we go 2-0 up at that point in the game, because see, for me, half-time, the whistle came at a wrong time because I felt we had them right on the ropes at that time.
The big moment was before half-time, he came when Balogun broke through. The Balogun went through like Big Bergera, didn't he?
I know, he was.
He's up the park. And he's just got to pass it with his foot to the Egerman and see what happens, mate. No, Egerman was right through in goal. Again, I'm not saying he'll definitely score, but these are big moments, mate, yeah.
Absolutely. And it comes down to player choice, player decision making, and it was obviously the wrong decision making. And I'll throw another wee one in here as well, and I think you touched on it actually before the game even happened. Why did we not play a league game there at the weekend and then give both teams a full week to prepare for the cup final this weekend when we've got no midweek game on? Why were we 48 hours to prepare for that game at the weekend and Celtic is 72 hours? Because see, the longer that game went, our players looked knackered. Why was that? I hope the SFA answer that, know.
I think you need to do your arithmetic, mate.
You know my point.
They played the Tuesday, didn't they?
Yeah.
Aye.
So they played. If we'd 72 hours, they'd 96 hours. And
He's
more than
48.
that, yeah, even more. 96, 48, more than us, yeah.
Aye, you know.
Aye, aye.
You know
40
my point. They're longer to prepare than what we did.
Aye, by the way, I'll say it again, even though it was a great game and a good advert for Scottish football, exciting for the neutrals and all that, as far as the fans and safety and weather, the game should never be played at that time of year. Expense just before Christmas for punters. Travelling, you don't know if ferries or roads are going to be safe. And if it was a week before, it wouldn't have been on because of the winds. It's mental, Albert. Mental. And I'm not saying that because we play. I said it last year when we won against Aberdeen. I'm saying it now, and I'll say it all the time. It's mental.
It's just Scotland, mate. I mean, I'm astonished you still think and hope for a bit of sense and logic to come out of Scottish football. The people that are running it ain't going to happen, mate. So forget about it. It's just one of the things that you've got. Again, it's like referee decision, innit? You just got to go on with it. We keep getting told, just shut up and go on with it. It's madness, mate. Total madness. But there you go. It's clowns that's running the game, mate. It's proved again. They're all more interested about silly flares than they are about anything else, mate. It's just pathetic nonsense that you get up here, and it's going to continue that for the foreseeable future. In fact, probably forever. As long as there's Scottish football, it's going to last, mate. I've gave up with it, mate. I've totally gave up with Scottish football, trying to get any sense out of it. It's just crap product. It's always going to be a crap product, and that's just the way it's going to be. We're never going to improve. We're never going to go into a world stage with our football. Because we get told we're a wee country. Well, we're actually no quite as wee as everybody thinks. Because we're actually Britain. That's our country, mate. I want a national team. I keep going on about it. I'll not be happy if we get a national team. And it's the only time you're going to see progress up here, if you do get a national team and one FA running the club. It's a fact of life, mate. But again, it's crying in the wilderness, as they say.
Aye. Listen, I'm only thinking, first of all, for a supporter's point of view, AK, yeah? The people that are travelling, the people that are going to the games that time of year, they've laid out for European tickets, they've laid out for cup final tickets. Yeah, it's senseless to me.
No, you're 100% right, and we spoke about it before. They've got zero consideration for the support at all. I mean, what was the tickets here at the weekend? Upwards of 50 quid. People paying hospitality, you're probably upwards of 300-400 for that. It's crazy. Your weather comes into the park was bogging. You know, it just didn't help the kind of. Well, some of the neutrals might say it was a great spectacle for Scottish football, but the quality of football wasn't great. But I just thought the recovery time, Celtic had an obvious advantage, and our players looked knackered the longer the game went on. And obviously the injuries, like say Balogun coming off and Sterling having to go into the middle of the defence, Proper didn't look too assured. Raskin, you know, he's running himself into the ground. And we've lost Suter now for 7-8 weeks. I'm hearing we're really going to be needing a couple of defenders there in the January transfer window, as well as probably a striker out. Dessers, Jurio for me, and get somebody in.
Well, how are you going to do that one, mate?
God knows. I'm hoping Patrick Stewart's Paul Daniels.
Listen, we're back to the same stage. I discussed this with somebody today. Getting somebody out the door, mate, unless, you know, they're doing decent wages, he's not going to move. He's not going to move. And it's just a fact of life. People say, they want to play £21,000 a week. Unless that gets matched, he's not going to move anywhere. Albert.
We know that. We know that, mate. It's just it's a fact of life. But we need to find some way to try and get them moved out. You need to try and move them out. Whether you can move them out will be difficult and probably will not get them out. But you've got to try. You've definitely you've got to have the effort and put some effort into getting them out. Whether it's they're not playing in the team, the first team, or training with the first team, whatever you have to do, you need to try it, because this is just a drain on resources, and you're getting no return. I mean, we mentioned some players the day, and if you want to rhyme them off, but these players are just draining resources right out of the club, and it's damaging the club beyond belief now. But
I talked about it last night. Your Matondos, your Dowles, your Tom Lawrence's, they're the three now that, and obviously Cortez will give him the benefit of the doubt at the moment, you know, and because they've been ways 5 year, AK, 2.5 year each roughly, the two of them, and they've not played a season's worth of football. So between them, we've played them for 4 seasons and they've not kicked a ball.
Mm.
And it's millions of pounds, AK, millions.
And by the way, I think you could throw Ridvan into that equation as well. Your stats that you had for Lawrence and Matondo last night were ridiculous. So return for wee Ridvan hasn't been particularly great either.
I'll have a quick look, mate.
Yeah,
I don't want to pick at him too much.
Because you're a wee guy.
No, because of Sunday, mate. It obviously feels like you're jumping on the bandwagon. I get your point, mate. Yeah, I'll just look and see exactly what he's done.
All bear, I was going to say, do you know something? See if Brendan Rodgers picked out beating last year, mind the one at Tynecastle? Basically called him a cheat. How many decisions do you think Celtic have had against him for then?
Nade. Absolutely nade, mate. That was it. They got one dodgy decision last year. It looked like Rangers might go in and win that league. And all of a sudden, their letters getting wrote, and they all fall out their tree, and it's all conspiracy again, and told you we never get nothing, and all this crap you get out of them. But there you go. There's the very man beaten, who is hopeless, mate.
Albert, and do you mind the punishment he was given as well? A 2-match suspended ban, I believe. One match ban he basically got. And what was the second match against us to make sure he was in the dugout? That's a coincidence.
It's all manipulated. We all know it. The whole Scottish football knows this. Nobody wants to talk about it, but because it's benefiting one team, and that's it. They're all happy with that. But they will wake up. Eventually, it's going to bite them all. And when they start going out of business, mate, that's when it's going to hit home to them and going, well, it could, and it didn't have to be this way. It could have been a lot better, a lot more competitive, put it that way.
38 games he started in the same period, AK, yeah. I'm not counting substitute appearances because then you need to go, if you're on for 5 minutes, 15 minutes, yeah.
Mate, so that's over, what, 2-3 years, is it now?
2.5, the same time. He came in the same time as they two, mate.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
Half a season out of him.
£5 million, I think, we spent on him and all.
Plus the wages, mate.
Yes, plus the wages, aye. Yeah.
We've obviously bought a bit of potential, and we've seen at times the boy's a decent player, but we've also seen times that he's not physically ready, and we'd go with our best wishes. I don't know about the other two there, that's bizarre as it seems. But aye, that's millions getting drained out of the club. Just came back to Sunday. You're right, AK, that game, I think that was in March, wasn't it? The day after we lost to Motherwell, wasn't it? Was it April? I can't remember. Seems a long time ago.
Aye, you're right. That's right. We lost to Motherwell on the Saturday and they get beat on the Sunday, didn't they?
Aye.
Mm-hmm.
Aye.
Hearts.
And did they not get a penalty? It wasn't a penalty, but they never mentioned that.
No, I didn't mention that, but that didn't happen, mate. You airbrush that out. Look, their court cases not. It needs to be airbrushed out of history. It didn't happen.
Well, you can't say that. You can't say that.
Not allowed. We're not allowed to say that. Aye, that's right. Keep forgetting what you're allowed to say, what you're not allowed to say in this country. It's very, very difficult, isn't it?
Especially the way you live your life.
Yeah, well. I live it free, mate. That's what I do. I live it free. Anyway, back to the football.
Aye, listen. So that we're looking insular at our own club, but we're still Aggrieved and strongly aggrieved, and we've got to keep going. This can't just be a 2 or 3 day wonder. It's got to be everything's got to be dissected. Listen, you've been listening to this show for a long time, AK. I'm not referees and that's no my bag. Really, I'm no one for. It's a game of football. You play the game, and it's about putting the ball in the back of the net. And if you put the ball in the back of the net, you take all that out. Yeah. However, but when you look at the stats, particularly in the last 18 months, mate, maybe starting with the Dessers decision when he's mentally assaulted somebody when Roof scored. Yeah. You could argue that might have cost Michael Bailey's job. Yeah. Because if you win that game, you don't know what happens, yeah?
Yep. And it's all factors on the record. Are all firm record, and it's not been great, Ox, but there is factors there. Glaring factors.
The goal Morelos got chopped off at Parkhead.
100%.
It was chopped off. Yeah.
Yep. Alistair Johnson again threw his cell to the deck. By the way, even Aberdeen last year, if you remember, they had a penalty, and Carter Vickers had his his horns, and they gave it back for a foul against. I think it might have been Alistair Johnson again. They're cute at what the day to stop the opponents forgetting something, but it's happening far too often, and it needs called out. So good on our new CEO for at least asking the question, and Mr. Clement's closing comment to the pressers guys yesterday. Use dig into this, guys, please, because Gerrard said the same thing just a couple of years ago. A few years ago there, and it's still happening.
Yeah. They keep the saying goes, in AK. The saying is, we've no game without referees, which is perfectly true. The trouble is, if these officials are getting intimidated and they're afraid to give the decisions on the part of any game, we've not got referees, mate. So you haven't got a game, and that's the way it's developing, mate. You've just not got a game here. It's wrong. It's just wrong.
But also, listen, see the edge of the box or the people lifting their foot where they put it down. If I'm honest, it's a difficult decision for the referee in a game of football. But VAR was brought in to take the clear and obvious errors out. Colbert.
But see that particular incident with the foot on the line, you're right. Beaton might know see that. So why doesn't he just call it as a penalty? Because it's going to get reviewed, isn't it? Do you think if he'd have called that a penalty, they would have reviewed it?
Well, they reviewed it, they'd have to give the penalty, wouldn't they?
But you know what I'm saying? So why don't we just call it as a penalty? Why does Beaton just say, I'm not sure, I think that might be a penalty. Get a penalty, let them view it. If it's not a penalty, they'll say, no, it's outside the box. It's not a penalty. Right? But he doesn't. He just ignores it. He doesn't go on it. I don't want to know. You remember the one at Ibrox? He booked silver for diving. You get Johnson took him out for the knees. Sutton shouting, and I still think that VAR office gets the sound for the game that's going on. Sutton shouting, that's never a penalty. That's diving. He was diving. Beaton walks out and books silver, and he has to go back once VAR actually looked at it and went, no, that is a penalty. He has to take the yellow card back off and give Rangers a penalty. You're sitting saying, look at what's happening with this clown Beaton. He will not give anything, mate. He wants them to bail him out all the time. And he's sitting there on Sunday looking at that and saying, that could be a penalty. He sees it, mate. Nobody's telling me did he see it. He sees it. It's close. It is close. So give the penalty. Let VAR chop it off if it's no a penalty.
Because the point you're making is you're stopping the game anyway for an infringement.
Aye, exactly, mate. So you're sitting going, just give the penalty. No. So he's bottled it. He's not getting anything against them. He's terrified of them, mate. Forget about it. Terrified against them, as most of them are. The two clowns up in that VAR office, by the way, Muir and Connor, they are cheats, mate. They're cheats. There's something wrong here. There's something definitely wrong there, mate. You just look at Connor's record against Rangers, mate. That tells you everything you want to know.
All right. Well, yeah. Listen, come and join us. Give your thoughts. 0141 356 1972. as a phone-in show. It doesn't work without your thoughts. We know people are frustrated. We know they're angry. Some people might be disappointed in how the team performed in the circumstances. Day 4 days, I thought there was a lot of positives. Tottenham Hotspur and against them, AK.
Oh, 100%. As I say, the anxiousness was there, and you know, a lot of the Rangers support, particularly after the Dundee United won each. And I think the same day, actually, Spurs went to Man City and beat them 4-0. So Rangers supporters are coming out, oh, geez, they're going to take double figures off of us when we play them, and then that's got to put us in a downer. Celtic has beat us 4 or 5, do whatever they want. But obviously, we've had a change formation. We've had the introduction of Hadji, Danilo, Iganami. We took out Dessers. Lawrence Shaw obviously got injured. And the team has changed, and changed for the better. The tactics, there's still some there that's, you know, no for them. But there's definitely maybe an improvement with the likes of Czerny and our forward players, Danilo. As I say, everybody we're going forward in numbers, we're scoring goals, we're not really conceding a hell of a lot up until the Spurs and Celtic game. To be honest with you, the opposition wasn't the best, but we still scored 4 in Nice prior to that, you know. So we are there is improvements there. There's no doubt about it. But the disappointment factor is we've lost our record. You know, the most successful football club. That is a one that I know that rankles a lot of the Rangers support, and we need to rectify that as soon as possible.
We need to win trophies. We need to win games, and cup finals are about playing, about winning and taking part in the game. You have to. It's not about playing well. It's about winning. That's cup finals. How many times have you not played well in a cup final? You've won it. You know, it's happened all through our history. You know. So it's about winning. I get that frustration, AK. I get it. You know, that people are sitting there and we're saying, look, we didn't win. We might have played well, but we didn't win. And they're right. Because that's not what the history books will say. You don't get an asterisk for playing well. All better.
That's it, mate. And you've got to ram that into the players as well. Don't accept this. Don't accept it. Don't take the praise. The praise is if you win the cup, you didn't win it. So let's not take any praise out of this and we done this and wait till next year. No, that's nonsense. It's the now, right now, and we didn't win it. And we'll get Dundee on Saturday. So get out here and beat Dundee. That's what I'm saying. And we've still got a season to continue, mate. This season continues. People are saying, oh, right, it's a bad season. Wait till next year. I'm no one of them. Forget about that. That ain't happening with me. We're playing Dundee. I want a victory against Dundee. And I want victories and keep getting victory. Get as many as you can this season. Keep it going. Keep growing. Keep developing. Keep getting better. That's what I'm looking for, mate. No right half season. Forget about that. That's not my game. I'm just not my game. And I'm not waiting till next season. I know that's nonsense because all you're doing is painting a target on your back if you start talking like that. Because they're sitting listening and going like that. Oh, is that right? Well, we'll see. Because you know them, they can't do it after their own back. They've always got to have a cause, mate. And don't give them the cause. We'll just keep your powder dry and start winning games and keep on winning games. That's a defeat. We'll start from scratch now.
Don't give them a cause and don't give them the ammunition, yeah?
Correct, mate.
Yes.
Just keep your powder dry.
Yes. Experienced campaigner, Albert. Experienced campaigner. Right. Question for you, AK. No a quiz one, you're all right.
Okay.
Right. Our managers should always be under pressure, right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Where do you see the D United game? We were in a U, and I know you know a U bend, right? We're in a U, and we're at the bottom here. We hit the bottom here, and we've came up. Where are we in the pressure states for the manager? How do you see it?
Well, the manager's always under pressure, and the fact that that result at the weekend obviously didn't help the scenario, and their opponents and our defeat, it didn't help the scenario. So the support are looking for a reaction. We're looking for a good reaction, and we're looking to win that game at Ibrox. It's all building it up for that one. That's the thing that Gerrard did. He might have been fortunate. He had the second game of his tenure at Ibrox come on his own with one game at Ibrox. Beale, I think, had about 4 or 5 games at Ibrox, and that is a factor in these sort of results as well. So this is, for me, it's a must-win. It's a must-win because it's a sign of intent that we can lay a glove on this team, our main opponents, and we're no fear, and we need to start hurting them, because there were moments there at that game at the weekend where I thought we had them rattled. I thought we had them in the ropes, and they weren't as good as what they make themselves out to be. We know that, but they live in this bubble where they're untouchable. Well, we need to burst that bubble, and the sooner the better. And the only way you do that is by beating them and by winning trophies.
I mean, you have to win the next 3 games up to then.
Absolutely. Must wins.
Aye. And then the next one after that becomes even bigger. Albert, same question yourself, mate.
We've got to win all games, mate. The pressure for the Rangers managers always on simmering. At the moment, it's close to boiling. The only way you turn the gas down in the pressure cooker is winning games. That's the only.
I'll rephrase the question to you then. Is the gas higher or lower than it was, say, Wednesday, this time last week?
It's still the exact same, mate. Exact same as see the Dundee game, get into the Dundee United game. It was high then, and it's still high now. It's going to remain high, mate, till you start keeping winning games and winning trophies. It's never going to go down, mate. And even when you win games and trophies, it's still going to be high, because that's the nature of that job. And Clement knows it. He understands it more than any of the Rangers fans that I can hear. That he understands exactly what it means to manage this team, this club. It's relentless, mate. It's just relentless. As soon as you settle into this job and get that in your head, the easier it is for you to manage the pressure and manage the team. And he's got it, mate. I know he's got it. All he needs is a wee bit of a hand, a wee bit of time to get this right. And you can see he's getting it right. Definitely getting it right, mate. And by the way, he is getting nothing to work with. So I'm looking for the CEO and the chairman to start providing the guy some tools to work with. He has got nothing to work with. And he's managed to do what he's done so far with nothing, mate. Absolutely nothing.
Yeah. I mentioned some last night, AK. I don't know if you picked up, but I know you look at a lot of stuff. The transformation, I don't know who pays your wages, but the change in the team for last year, I didn't realise till I looked at the team. Yeah, there was only 3 players starting. Yeah, there was 5 players involved out of the 14. That is a big change, isn't it?
Aye, well, listen, we mentioned that at the start of the season. See, when you're losing 16 players, a lot of the experience, high earners left the club, and he brings in 12 for not a great deal of money. In comparison, we had to get the priority was to get the high earners off the wage bill because of the FAP that hangs over us. But the high earners, a lot of them dug their heels in and they wouldn't move. So that's the reason why we had to accept paltry fees for them. But what that done to the wage structure was, it gave Clement a wee bit of, leeway with getting certain players in the building. But unfortunately, the knock-on effect of that is because it was basically, we'd done all our transfer work in the last week of the window. So everybody that they'd sounded out, I believe him and Coppin had sounded out 62 players. They'd actually inquired about who were interested in coming. But obviously,
do you think that normal? But that number was pretty normal, huh?
I would expect so. I mean, they'll kind of ask the question, but obviously, the longer the transfer window goes, and that player doesn't know what's happening with it, they're going to look elsewhere, as the likes of Sima going to Brest or in France, because we couldn't match the numbers we was looking for. But basically, we'd done most of our transfer window in the last week of the window, which only gave us 2 weeks to prepare for Dynamo Kiev and 3 weeks to prepare for Celtic. They matches came too quickly at that point. And that's the reason why he said, you need to give me time, you know, to deal this team. And, you know, I'm expecting us to get better as the season goes. Obviously, again, people were holding the gun to him. Will you tell us we'll be better in October? And we weren't. It taken you until November, December. But now we're starting to see what he's been working on.
Does it not make sense? Hey, does it not make sense now that Beale should have gave Dessers money, Lammers money, and Dowell's money to Big Seamer and no sign day 3?
Yep.
Aye. And he's went to, well, I know you're a big fan of breasts, Albert.
Oh, aye. Good. You like breasts? I can't deny it.
He watches other games, eh?
Oh, aye. Fantastic.
Aye, just the scouting and recruitment, and you know, and people. I don't know. Sometimes I feel that, AK, you can come in first. That people, they don't realise that Scottish football, it's played at a tempo and it's physical, and you need to have a certain attributes. And we'll mention Ridvan. You know, when we brought him in at left back, everybody first saw him, everybody was shocked, weren't they? Yeah.
Aye.
What have we done?
Yep.
We've got a defender. It's, you know, and we know the nature of the game and how people play the game, and they'll just put high balls in all the time on that guy. They'll not try and play in the carpet and play football because that's not what they'll do. You know, so you've got to be double wide, and you've got to be sensible in your recruitment, AK, and then all better.
100%. And listen, a lot of us has been questioning not just the recruitment off of Clement, but the recruitment off of Beale, recruitment off of Gio before him, in the markets that we were looking at, particularly the leagues that we're looking at. That Ross Wilson seemed to have an idea that he could pick up, you know, like say Lundstrom for a free transfer, but paying an absolute fortune just to get him out the door. The same, I hate to mention it, but Aaron Ramsey as well. You know, guys of that out, and they were a disaster.
What are you trying to do to me? What are you trying to do to me tonight?
I'm talking facts here. But
what are you trying to do? I'll bear up a word with him.
But to get my point is, we've been looking in the wrong markets. I think we've ignored the Scottish market too quickly, because you need a robust player. A player of availability. You said it yourself last night, Alex Ferguson, you need to show up for your work. And we've had too many guys that hadn't showed up for your work on a continual basis. The only guys, Tavernier, Goldson, Butland. You're struggling after that.
Aye. Listen, there is factors. There's factors when you get a Danilo injury. You know, when he gets his leg, his face smashed, then he gets took out above the knee all there. We put our horn up and we go, right, okay, we get that. Yeah? That's part of the game, right or wrongly, yeah? But you can't blame anybody. But when people like Matondo are constantly getting muscle injuries, that's when you scratch your head and wonder, innit?
Well, I'm going to cover the point that Alec made and cover the point that you've just said there. We're not shopping in the wrong markets, mate. We're shopping the wrong players. That's the problem we've got. It's nothing to do with the markets we're in. It's we're getting in and trying to resurrect people's careers who have faltered, who have actually never had a really good career. We think we're getting in there, taking them, and then going to make them good players. Ramsey, for example, injured, mate. Juventus couldn't wait to get him out the door. We think we're going to take this and make him into some sort of superstar again. It's not happening. And then we look at, what do you call him, Lundstrom. He's in a relegation battle with the team he came for, Sheffield United. By the way, they got relegated, and he was part of that squad that got them relegated. I watched a couple of their games at the end, or parts of their games. He gave up, mate. He'd thrown the towel in. He just wasn't interested. All of a sudden, we've got him in our team. And guess what? 2 or 3 times he threw the towel in with us as well. And you're saying, well, he's got a history of this. But we're going to get that. We're going to get that coach or that out of him. No, you know. Stop buying players that are broke and try to say, "Oh, we've got a magic recipe for this." Aye, we've got a big treatment room. That's what we'll go at. With good video systems and DVDs or whatever it is now. They get the PlayStations and all the rest of the gadgets. That's what we've got. Stop shortening the markets. The markets we're in are right. It's just the players that we're actually taking as the ranked players. As I think you're going to see now with Eggman and players like that, and Cortez and Jeffy and players like, you'll see that there is decent young players out there, really good players out there. You just need to go and get them.
Right,
Stop trying to match them.
There's a big cloak in front of you. Have a look at it.
Is that time, isn't it, mate?
Yes.
It is that time, pal.
All right. That was a step for a hint there, mate. Yes.
That was good. It's good.
Yeah. All right.
I'm that sharp. I got it.
I know. Oh, lightning. Listen, get yourselves a mute, gentlemen, because we're going to have a tune.
How many years ago, my boys, I left old Glasgow town. I followed the pull of the Yankee land and here I'm settled down. Although I met so Bridgeton Cross and my friends so near and dear, what I would give if I could have the Rangers over here. You can talk of California where the sun shines all the year. You can bomb about your Broadway light so clear. But it would fill my heart with gladness, it would fill my heart with cheer, if we only had the Rangers over here. For they're the finest team in all the land, and I'm sure that you'll agree. To see them win is something grand, it's part of history. We're the boys who fear no noise, my lads, and I mean this quite sincere. What I would give if I could have the Rangers over here. You can buck up California where the sun shines all the year. You can bum about your Broadway life so clear. But it would fill my heart with gladness, it would fill my heart with cheer, if we only had the Rangers over here. Finest team in all the land, and I'm sure that you'll agree. To see them win is something grand, it's part of history. We're the boys who fear no noise, my lads, and I mean this quite sincere. What I would give if I could have the Rangers over here. You can talk of California where the sun shines all the year. You can bum about your Broadway life so clear. But it would fill my heart with gladness, it would fill my heart with cheer, if we only had the Rangers over here. If we only had the Rangers over here. If we only had the Rangers over here.
Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972. It's your show, it's your platform. Let's hear from you.
Yep, as a phone-in show, or we could turn it into a podcast if you like, but the Boxer Old School put a lot of work in, so we've got the facilities for people to phone in all better, didn't they?
Absolutely, mate. Give us a call.
Yes. 0141 356 1972. Give your thoughts, give your disappointments, give your hopes. Would you keep the manager? If you feel that strongly about it, anything, up for debate. By the way, I've heard a lot of people and I've been in contact with a lot of people in the last couple of days. And it's bizarre. It had nothing to do with the penalties. Didn't influence the game at all. Never missed a sitter. And Dessers is still getting it. People saying, I'm done with him. Albert, explain.
You're asking the impossible, mate, to explain all that. I can explain the Dessers one. I can't explain the rest of it, mate. It's mental, mate. It's mental. Dessers just a bad player, mate. I'm gave up with him. He's just a bad player. That's my take on it.
Time to move on.
I hate him with the guy, but aye, come on. He's the third choice. He's actually the fourth choice. I would even put Butland ahead of him now, no?
Aye. Help me out, AK. Yeah. Is the manager done with him? Is that the feeling you get?
Well, put it this way, we hadn't that him out the team. We've had an upturn for him. And I don't think it's a coincidence. Listen, you look at his numbers and you would say they're no bad numbers, but what is it, probably about 1 in every 2 games or 2.5 games or something. It's no bad numbers, but it's no good enough for us. We're needing to really rely on a striker to, score big goals in big games, and he doesn't do it often enough. He'll come on for, like, say, the last 20 minutes against Kilmarnock and score a couple, but he'll not score the big goals when we kind of really, really, really need them. He has scored some big goals in Europe. There's no denying that. But his link-up play, his general play, confidence in him, nah. He's been a bad buy. £4 million. We could have signed, or put that towards Seema. We could have put that towards a Shankland a couple of years ago. We could have put it towards somebody that was going to be there long term, but nah, it's been a waste of money for me. But the penalty takers, I think Clement kind of cleared it up himself. He said that they have been taking penalties on a regular basis, and name that's been slotting them away the most were the first 5 in the team sheet. So that explains why Butland came up there. Butland might have felt because he was the vice captain, he was one of the leaders. Tavernier steps up first, so Butland says, right, I'll tuck it away last, and he did. And you're right in what you said, by the way, all 5 were on target, but Van was the unfortunate one that, the keeper dives the right way. It's unfortunate, but should it come down to penalties? No, the way the game went and the contentious decisions that we've spoken about already, plus the 1-on-1 or the 4-on-1 for us to go 2-0. So ifs and buts now, but it leaves us a bit gutted, that's all.
In the Dessers situation, you're taking that, mate? You done with him?
Aye. I don't think he's good enough. Aye. If we can get somebody in there in January and get him out, aye. Well, let's go forward with somebody better than that.
Egerman's Raw wasn't fantastic at the weekend, Albert, but he gave them many worry about. There was no silly fouls. He was challenging. He was getting up. He was winning headers. Yeah.
He's learning all the time, mate. You can see it. He's learning all the time. Each game, each situation, he finds himself that he's not been in before. You can see the boy's learning. He's not a dafty, mate. He's definitely a player. He's going to be a top class player, mate. No doubt about it. Yeah, I thought he looked a bit leggy right to the start, right enough. But he's still done his shift. He's still played his part, mate. I like the wee guy. I like his attitude. And I like Diamondi's attitude when we were 2-1 down. I was really impressed with that, mate. I really was.
He had a decent game at the weekend and did a decent second half against Tottenham Hotspur, didn't he, Diamondi?
I sure did. He rose to the challenge in both games. On paper, superior players run about him, but it didn't show on paper. I thought the wee man and Raskin were definitely exceptional. That goal that he took as well, the way he made it himself, so that'll do him the world of good going forward, because there was doubters out there. They're not denying that, but he's grown into the jersey and grown into the role. And all of a sudden, wee Barron is kind of dipped out the team. People, that was a lot of the supporters' favourites at the start of the season. Did we miss him? I don't know. Did we? That's up for debate too.
Aye. Listen, Connor's got some engine on him, some work he puts in. It's his ball retention, his passing he's got to improve on it. Yeah. And if you get the odd pass, and obviously the blind pass in Europe, he's playing at games with a lot more intensity than he was used to playing. Anyway, this this could be fun. Albert, hang on to your hat. We've been joined by William. Evening, William.
Good evening, brothers. Oxdear, keep your finger on that red button. Ready? Ready to press that red button. All right, listen. Albert, I remember I was on a few months ago. Remember what I said?
Yeah, I don't remember yesterday.
Remember what I said about the referees? About they were all being handpicked, and you agreed with me?
Aye,
GB,
definitely, mate.
GB felt a bit under pressure and he cut me off, remember? He felt a bit under pressure. He felt it was a bit too much. He cut me off. I spoke to Fox about it. He says, I don't know, mate. You just say what you want to say. I don't know. You just say what you want to say.
What's your thoughts now, mate?
Oh, my God. Well, hey, that's just what I was talking about. They're totally at it.
I mean, it was all come to pass, isn't it?
Aye, as we have been brought up, as Rangers men, we're brought up, you don't complain about the referees, we never have. Because when you think about it, before VAR, you don't know what the referee's looking at, you don't know who's blocking his view, unless it's wide open, and you can see him looking at the incident. But now with VAR, that's all changed. We're sitting there looking at that yesterday on the TV, those of us that were watching it on TV, we can see what the VAR can see. So there's no excuse. They've turned a blind eye. We're into extra time, and they need to give us a penalty. And Muir and that in Connor, they're no way in a million years are they going to give us a penalty. If somebody get grabbed round the throat as they were putting the ball in the net, they wouldn't give us a penalty. It's an absolute disgrace. They're totally at it. They want to put a lot of them on a lie detector machine and ask them 2 or 3 questions.
Oh, they've got a special wee box with that. They go in, there's a curtain.
Aye, you're no kidding. Absolutely shocking. I mean, I've see this season, guys. I tell you, I've nearly lost interest in the domestic game because of the referees we're getting and because of all the jiggery pokery with the fixtures. I'm sick to death of it. I mean, I was reading earlier on, they even waited to the season that we get knocked out of Europe, so they knew we were playing on the Thursday, and then they picked that Sunday for the cup final.
No, I think that was the Sunday, mate. I've got to be honest with you. I think that was the same Sunday as last season, mate. Yeah.
Well, I read today that the decision was made for the cup final just after we get knocked out of Europe, out of the Champions League. So we'd be playing on the Thursday as opposed to the Tuesday.
True, but
I read that online today.
But remember, because you read it online doesn't mean it's
true. Oh, I know. But what I didn't read online was we were away to Ross County last week, and that's just about one of the toughest places you can go to. So that would be pre-arranged.
Well, listen, you've got to play teams somewhere, the supercomputer.
Aye, but no leading up to the cup final. And you get a wee cosy home game against their cousins for Edinburgh. This is what's going on. Look at the first quarter, the league fixtures. We're away to Aberdeen, we're away to them, we're away to Hearts, and they've got all these 3 games at home in the first quarter.
Well, that
gives them an advantage to get a lead at the top of the league. Makes it easier for them.
That supercomputer.
Aye. Oh, it's every turn. They're at it at every turn.
Right. You may let us answer.
No. I'm just getting wound up.
You may get the same treatment that GB gave you. Right, listen. That supercomputer. 2 were first 3 games, I think. AK was away to the team first in the game, the team second in the league. Now, it's easy. You can take all that debate out the fixtures. You have the same fixtures every year, done with how the teams finished the season before with the newly promoted team. It's easily sorted, Albert, isn't it?
Aye, if they want to sort it.
Aye.
if it's not been fixed. I know we sound crazy, mate, but there's definitely something going on, and we all know it.
And you come on.
I'll tell you what I think. This is my opinion. When we were put down to the bottom league, what happened at Hampden was there were certain clubs went in and they were shouting the odds. They wanted us thrown out of Scottish football. They wanted us thrown out. And what I learned for the SFA when I dealt with them is the SFA, they don't spend money. They just make money. They just take money in. And they would have said to their clubs, listen, if you want to throw Rangers out of Scottish football, it'll have to go through the courts. It'll cost millions of pounds. And every Rangers fan around the world will put their hand in their pocket and support Rangers. It'll go on for years. We'll all be bankrupt. And they'll still not be thrown out. But I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll put them down to the bottom league. We'll let their arch rivals run the Scottish football. We'll put their man in to run the SFA. He can pick the referees. He can promote the referees. And we'll put them down there, and it'll be 3 or 4 years, and you'll make loads of trophies before they get back up. That's what we'll do. And that'll save everybody a lot of money. How's that? How do you like that idea? That's my opinion and what happened.
You know how long that lasted, mate?
Right.
9 months. 9 months. 9 months after breaking a new television deal because there was more interest in Rangers in the bottom tier than there was in the top flight. Anyway, we've been joined by our Mandy. Evening, Mandy.
Evening, Oxford. Evening, everybody.
Evening.
Hi, Mandy.
Hiya.
Hi, Mandy.
I'm really annoyed because maybe you can answer this one. But every
Wait a minute,
time,
Mandy, if you looked at the panel, you're right, not very clever, know what I mean?
Speak for yourself, you.
but every time anything happens against Celtic players, they're all round about that ref, like flies round. Our players, not one of them shouted for that penalty. That annoys me. They get 2 of our players booked for being in their ear because they're never out his ear. And I'm sick of it. I'm sick of the carry on with refs. I'm about ready to stop watching football because it's doing my head in. The corruption is just so bad now. They don't even try and hide it anymore.
Do you think that VAR, is VAR highlighting that for you, Mandy, because you're seeing the decisions?
Say that again, Oxford, sorry?
Is VAR highlighting that for you? Because obviously VAR's changed the game, innit?
It has, and I understand that mistakes can be made between a person.
Aye.
But 2 people? No, I don't think so.
Well, they shouldn't make... William's a referee. You can get decisions wrong because you only get one look at it. But I bet you William wouldn't get a decision wrong if he could have stopped it, rewound it, looked at it again, got a different angle, stopped it, rewind it, had another look. You wouldn't get a lot wrong then, William, would you?
Absolutely. That's absolutely it. The VAR is fail-safe. If you've got honest, competent people operating the VAR, it's fail-safe. We just haven't got honest, competent people working it.
But William, I remember your phone call about the refs and about VAR. And I remember you saying they just need to move that one wee teeny bit.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a different outcome. And it makes it look to us like a different outcome because they know what they're doing and we don't. We're trusting these people. They're shafting us.
Oh, I don't think anybody was trusting the 2 that were in the box on Sunday, all bear rubber.
Oh, definitely. No, mate. You're looking at it and saying to yourself, now that's the referee, didn't see it? The linesman that David's mentioning it, didn't see it? And the 2 in the box, didn't see it? And the fourth official, didn't see it? I mean, there's 5 officials don't see that's a penalty. Come on. That's not right, mate. I don't care what anybody says, that's not right. If that's the case, the 5 of them should be just told, pack your bags and get to. We're going to bring an amateur referees in to do this, because amateur referees would have seen that, an amateur linesman. It's shocking, mate. It's just shocking. But again, it's all going to die down. It's all going to be up like this, up in the air for a while. We can't let this lie down anymore. It's just, there's a history at now, mate. And it's clear for everybody to see. The referees and linesmen, and even the VAR now, are terrified to give anything against them. It's just a fact of life, and it's going to continue till we make a stand on this. I don't know, mate. You really need to make a stand on this and say, we're not moving now till this gets sorted out. I mean, Connor and that Muir, they should never be involved in football again, mate. They 2 integrity is shot. Colum shouldn't be involved either. Colum shouldn't be there. He actually lied and cheated at Parkhead, and he actually get promoted for it. He got promoted for it.
I get thanked for his duty. Thanks for his service. Is that what you're saying? Yeah.
Definitely.
To be fair,
mate.
They're still not
Alex, can I tell you something about Willie Collum? I saw him when he came down to Ayrshire in the early 2000s. He was doing the juniors. And I was there and I was talking to the supervising him that day. Because they send the Glasgow referees down to Ayrshire juniors because it's hard going. So they send them down to toughen them up kind of thing. And I thought, this boy's rubbish. Who is he kind of thing? I was talking. And he gave a goal kick and this one was wanting a corner. Bell's Hill player. And he chased him all the way up the park shouting and swearing at him. And he never done anything. And I'm looking at the supervisor and he's looking at me. And oh my God. And I spoke to some of the Glasgow referees and I asked about him because that's the first I'd seen Wally Collum. And he said, oh, that's a golden boy. I says, what? I says, well, you're not a referee. I don't know about being a golden boy. He said, well, he's got an uncle at the SFA, so he's going all the way. He's the golden boy. So there you go.
Right, okay.
Look where he is now.
Aye,
After making the worst decision last season with Johnson punching the ball out, they made the worst decision since VAR came in, and they make him head of refereeing. What does that tell you?
No, I told you he was thanks for his service, mate.
Aye,
They've not forgave him for that big, what was his name? The penalty he gave against him at Parkhead. 2009 or something. Man, they came back to them crowding the refs. I think it was 2 players particular. And I thought there was a rule change that one player was meant to speak to a referee, and that's meant to be your captain or a nominated player. It doesn't need to be your captain, but you're right. It's all
that referee stood there up and let them all crowd round him, and they're all giving it mouth. And as soon as any Rangers players goes near him, he shows them. It's the sheer face that he puts on. Like, get away from me! Like, you are beneath me. It's disgusting. He wants to have a look back and see what his face is like when he's telling people off. But they crowd around him like, you know, and as soon as a Rangers player says anything to him, it's like, wave of the hand, away you go. Nah, I'm the boss. Go away. And I'm sick of it. It's getting to the stage, no wonder Scottish football is dying. Who wants to watch that rubbish? Because it's blatant for everybody to see. The game wasn't even finished, and there was hundreds, thousands of people knew that once again they'd got that wrong. We've lost our history now. That's a really black day for our club. Yes, it took them 150 odd years to do it, but it's not the point.
You have to. Referees will make mistakes. VAR's there to take it away. Yeah, players will get caught in the heat in the moment. Yeah, it's sometimes managers will instruct players, but they want it day when decisions go against them. That's part of you say the dark arts. Yeah.
Yeah. Scotland run it a different way. They just ignore VAR. That's the way they run it. Just ignore VAR. Don't bother with it. I bet you any money that wasn't even switched on at the weekend there. But the other penalty claim as well, Diamondi gets fouled, penalty kick. No. We'll take that back. We'll rerun that. We have to look at that again. Oh, there's a foul. There's a foul. There's a foul on Vickers. Right. No intention. The guy swung for the ball and it happened. I think he just caught his foot in the air. That's a foul. That's not a penalty now. But we'll not look at the other one. We'll not look at the goal. I thought they review every goal. We'll not look at that goal and look at and come out with a possible foul for the Diamandi carry. We'll have a good look at that first because it's only fair, isn't it? No, we'll not look at that either. Nah, mate, it's wrong. It's totally wrong. We all know it's wrong. You can't say it any more than you're saying it. Especially me, I'm going on about it too much now. But I know what's happening.
You get yourself rolled up. You have to support the team.
Aye, but
aye. It's your team. Nobody else's team, AK.
I'm
Absolutely.
Sorry.
It is our team. It's we've grew up on it. We've cheered them on to winning trophies, and we're in a dark side there of history just now. But we've just got to stay with it, steadfast, and hopefully we come out the other end. But we can't give up on our team. We can't give up on our club. You know, just got to keep with it. No, you're right, Mandy. We'll never, because we are what we are, and we're proud of, the association that we have with Rangers. It's a way of life for a lot of people, and it continue to be. And I thank my dad for taking the games all the years ago as a wee boy, and I'm as passionate now as I was then. So, and there's millions like us. We are the people.
Like, right, I just looked at my two boys' faces on Sunday, and it just broke my heart looking at their faces because they were absolutely devastated, distraught.
It's time, what you do is you have to pick yourself up, you get yourself to Ibrox on Saturday, you get behind the team.
Oh, and they will, Oxford, but it doesn't. Remember, my boys are only young.
Aye.
So,
like myself,
you've got to up the next day and what they need to listen to. Do you know what I mean? As we all do. But when you're a young lad, you react different than when you're a mature man.
Well, I don't know.
To see their wee faces broke my heart. And I'm by the way, I'm telling you now, see that crap they're going to commit sorry. No, I'm not accepting their sorry. That should never be let lie.
I'll tell you what they're going to commit with. I'll
well, this is a prediction. Wait a minute. This is Mystic Meg. Wait to hear this. On you go.
I'll tell you what they're going to say. What they're going to commit with. They're going to come out and tell you a technical problem we've had at that particular moment. That's what they're going to say, mate. And they'll give you a time for your time, and it will cover all the incidents that we're all talking about. We weren't in communication with the referee. We couldn't get VAR. There was a technical problem with the screens themselves. That's what they're coming out. It's the only thing that they can do, mate. They come out and lie about it like that. And that's what they're going to do, mate.
How many times can you get away with that?
But that's what they're going to come out with.
Well,
I've got a different prediction, Albert.
Go for it.
Right, I think what they'll do is they'll say it should be a penalty kick and they'll apologise. There you go. That's what I think they'll do.
If they do that, mate, they're leaving it open for Rangers to do something about it. We can ask for things then, mate, if they come out with that. We've got to ask for things. And we need to get our house in order and get our arguments ready.
Keep going. And keep going.
It can't be left alone, mate. It's been going on too long now.
AK, I think you're in my camp with this one, aren't you?
Just as you were saying that, I was typing it out what I thought would happen today. I think you're spot on, Ox. I think Willie Collum will dismiss Alan Muir and Frank Connor for the weekend, maybe even throw a public apology to Rangers. It should have been a penalty, but by that time, Celtic's away with the trophy and laughing up their cuff.
Yep. Hang on.
And then,
Fox.
Yes,
see, during the game, you get fouls during the game. All during the game, you get fouls. And they're objective, they're subjective. It might be a foul, it might not be a foul. But the Czerny incident, Beaton's given the foul. So that's the end of the objective. It's a foul. He said it's a foul, so it's a foul. And you can't argue that he's on the line, so it's a penalty. That's not objective. It's no subjective. He's on the line. We can clearly see it, what VAR can see. So there's no argument with that. You can argue all day whether it was a foul or no, but once he's gave the foul, and the only question is he in the box, as you know, and it's quite clear that he is. So
that's one of the few decisions that referees give. You're either pregnant or you're no, mate. I said that last night, yeah?
That's right.
Aye.
That's it.
Aye. Listen, we've been joined by Bob Ger. Evening, Bob Ger.
Good evening, Ox. How are we all this evening?
Hey, Bob Ger.
All right. I'm still feeling the pain for Sunday.
Hi, Bob. Yeah.
Yeah, man. All right. How you doing, love? Okay.
I am.
Nice to hear a lady's voice on the show. I missed Linda last night. Aye, well, you've just got to get out of the devastation and get on with it.
Yep, I know.
What's bugging me, as I said on Sunday when I phoned in, that it's a catalogue of events for Rangers. I'm not going to recite them all, you know them all. But 5 times we had the ball in the net against them last year, and I got chalked off with VAR. And VAR wasn't employed on Sunday for the penalty decision. Well, we can't go on bleating about a penalty decision forever. It's over. It's over. It's dusted. It's done. They've got the trophy we have now. We just have to get the chin up and get on with it. And start.
Aye, but it's the fact that it's 2 trophies, Bob Ger, they've got now.
What's that, love?
It's the fact that that's now 2 trophies. they have sitting in their cabinet through cheats. No one.
They've got 2 trophies sitting in their cabinet. What 2 trophies have they got sitting in their cabinet, Mandy?
Well, the one for last year, the Alistair
Well,
Johnson, was it Alistair Johnson's hand?
No, that was the league. That was a league game Monday, yeah.
Oh, was that a league game? I'm
That
getting
was a
mixed
league
up.
game. That was a league
I
game.
should. You talk about the Scottish Cup and the League Cup, mate. That's what's
That's
Yeah.
what I'm talking about, old bear.
I'm saying it's forming a catalogue of events, decisions going against us. And the ultimate was on Sunday there, because that was a stonewall of penalties you've ever seen. And I'm not being biased. Because he nearly hauled the boy's jersey off him, never mind tugged his jersey. So it was a stonewall penalty, and the consensus of opinions was the ex-referees and the ex-pundits in the game. So, but there you go, like I said.
We've got a referee on the panel tonight.
So I believe, aye.
Yeah, William, see that in the heat of that, that's a hard call to make, isn't it? Whether somebody the edge of the box. What's your go-to decision there? Is it to go to the side of caution or give a penalty?
Well, you're looking for as Albert said, the linesman.
Aye.
If you're not in a position to see exactly where it is, you're looking for your linesman to decide whether he's in the area or he's not.
Right.
But then you've got VAR on top of that.
Aye, I'm going to come to VAR in a minute. Yeah, but I'm just saying, as a ref, because I know you. The last game I think you done was just after the '66 World Cup final, so we didn't have VAR then, did we?
I've refereed at Hampden since that. I'll have you know.
I'll have you know, one of my sons officially opened Hampden, the Queen and
Oh, did
Prince
he?
Philip. He did.
Very good.
My Billy opened it up. Yep.
A Billy boy.
Gave all the wings. What was the fish eggs? What do you call it again? And all the wings come out starving. They would need it.
Oh, so you saying if you commit a foul to give away a penalty, yellow card? Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm saying, listen, they decisions there, William, are. But listen, I'm not trying to stick up for beating. What I'm saying is, I get Albert's point. You look at the referee. I'm going to come to my point. They're hard calls because they're instant. You don't know who's in front, what angle you see it at. You might think he's just in the edge of the box. Where they end up, because he's moving away from it. He was moving away from the box. Yeah. So you see all that. You maybe see, it's edge of the box, give a free kick. But with VAR, William, it's a different issue.
Totally different. It's got a perfect view. And that's where the VAR should have come in and said, oh, wait a minute, hold it. Ref, hold it. Wait, we look at this, we think it's a penalty. They look at it and say, he's on the line, that's in the area, it's a penalty. And that should have been it. There was quite a lot of time between him giving that foul and the foul being taken.
He's not got any time to worry about, mate, because he's gave the foul and then he should be in contact with VAR because he stopped to play.
Exactly.
Yeah.
There's no hurry. And there wasn't any hurry to take the free kick.
Yes. And so it's breaking, it's all in the media that they've admitted it was an error. Exactly what we thought they would start doing, Albert. But AK's got some good news for his AK.
Just looking at it there, Terry's put it up. The Glasgow Cup final tonight. Rangers 3, Celtic 2. Get it up, yous.
Yay!
I wasn't talking about that. Albert was going to watch it after the show. He's recording it.
Aye. We won I'll bet you any money we won that because there was no VAR.
Aye, you're right.
Well done, the boys. Well done, the boys.
Well done, the boys.
I believe there was some people on the way back for injury playing Albert. You had a look quickly.
Cortez, Matondo were playing. King was playing. Fraser was playing, and the boy Lovelace come on. I believe he scored the winner.
What's the betting Cortez and Matondo ran into each other?
I tell you, we Matondo did a couple of good wee runs, but Cortez was involved in the first goal. I've seen that. He was involved in the first goal. But he only got 45 minutes, Cortez. I don't know how long Matondo got.
He was the same, 45.
But even our new CEO was there, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And we
So
broke
he
our own
should,
VAR
a
system.
final. He should be at a final at any level of the club, the CEO. And it's going to be interesting to see how that pans out, He's got a big job in his hands. Aye, AK, just get back. I think we're going to be right. They're coming out. The apologies have already started, yeah. They've been stood down for the weekend as was predicted. I don't think it's a surprise. It's broke the last day. But we've got to keep this up. It can't just stop now, AK, yeah? The genie's well through the bottle.
Absolutely. Well, Roger started it last year and Lennon started it a few years ago as well.
Who did they call a cheat?
Mr. Beaton.
Oh, so there's a coincidence, eh?
Yep, and the many decisions of Celtic had against them since then, very few, if any. So I keep up the pressure on it, because an apology, a retraction, it should have been a penalty, doesn't do us any good, Oxford. It doesn't do the team any good. Because, as I say, Celtic are away with the trophy, they're laughing up their cuff. Neil Lennon, I heard him after the analysing, the referee didn't agree it because his body might have been on the, or his foot might have been on the line, but his body was outside the box. This is the sort of nonsense that we're coming away with.
But it doesn't matter. You're either pregnant or you're not, AK.
I know, absolutely. But this is a nonsense. I heard Peter Grant tonight lambasting a Rangers supporter because it was a what-if-outery, because the guy wasn't on about the penalty, he was on about the Kuhn foul on Diamondi. But what about Yefty down the back of Kuhn? And there's that, I'm not talking about that. It says, but what about last year when we had Destler's a goal chopped off and then they run it back 2 minutes to find a foul? What about Diamondi getting fouled in the penalty area, but they run it back to find that Carter Vickers was fouled? You know what happened with Aberdeen last year? This is what they're doing, Albert. We spoke about it earlier. All these things that's happening, they just find something in there, no to give Rangers any sort of advantage, and and just use it as their own tool.
You can't say this is no all pre-planned. It's pre-planned. We know it. You can't say that because you've got one of the top officials of SFA, McClellan.
Wait a minute, Albert, we're getting noise. I think it's the Mandy. Mandy, if you put your phone on mute when you're not talking, carry on, Albert.
You've got one of the top officials in the SFA, McClellan, who's on record and in print saying he hates Rangers. That's what you've got running your game, mate. And you're worrying about the decisions like that, and you're wondering where all this comes from. It's ridiculous, mate. We all know what's going on. There's only enough money in Scottish football to keep one big team going, and they take every money. They take the money for the league, the 2 cups, the fair play. See the fair play? They win the fair play every year. Look, have a look at that, Alec. Who's won the fair play in the last 12 years? I think they've won nearly every one in the last 12 years because there's money attached to that. You get money for it. Every bit of cash that comes into Scottish football that's up for grabs, they get it. Everything, mate. No, without exception, everything. And that's what's going on in this country, by the way. See, every wrong decision they do for us in the league, no matter whether it's against them or against anybody, this is millions and millions of pounds you're talking here now, mate. They're 11-point clear in this league, by the way. And they're already come out and said it. The Invincibles. Roger's actually calling them it. Oh, the Invincibles. They've convinced in their own head now. They're going through the rest of this season unbeaten, mate. Right through it. And a quarter of the season is just barely gone. And they're convinced. You go, how do you know that? How can you say you're going to be the Invincible? Because they know the officials will get nothing against them. It doesn't matter what happens for other teams or us. They're not going to get punished for the things they should be getting punished for. Look at the amount of bookings they get throughout a season. 8 Rangers players get booked on Sunday. 8 Rangers players. 6 of the first 11, the starting 11, 6 get booked, mate. We couldn't even swap them over for the substitutes. Whatever enough substitutes to swap were booked players there were. They get 3, and the first one was in 77 minutes. We get refereed to a different standard, mate, and there's no doubt about it.
Anyway.
Foxtail.
Yes, mate.
See the situation with Diamandi went down to get fouled in the area and we were looking for a penalty. But then he gave the foul, he said Carter Vickers had been fouled. Mm-hmm. That means that he's saying that Carter Vickers was fouled in his own penalty area and he played advantage. He played on and played advantage in his own penalty area. That's what he's saying. A referee would never do that. Never, ever, ever. would you play advantage on all the players in that area? If a defender was fouled, you'd be giving that foul. If there was a foul. Think about it.
That's what
they're doing. They've done that a few times. We get something, a penalty or a goal, and then you come back and say, but that was a foul before that. It's so obvious. It's so obvious.
Right. See, they used to tell you didn't want the VAR to interfere too much and re-referee the game. That was a part all the time. But you looked at that Dessers goal at Ibrox. They took that back at least 2 minutes, mate. The referee's already made his decision and said it's not a foul. It actually was a foul, but he said it's not.
It was a foul. Who was the referee that day?
Beaten. But then you look at that one with Vickers. He's already made his decision to say that's not a foul. Play's playing on. But hold on, we'll run that back as well. They're either re-refereeing the game or they're no re-refereeing the game. And that's what they're doing, mate. When it suits them to re-referee the game, they re-referee the game. When it doesn't suit them, well, they just blatantly just say we did this. We're just going to ignore it now when it suits them. And Sunday proved that. So what chance have you got, mate?
See, when there's a big campaign about we don't get penalties given against us, then we did get one given against us. Who gave it?
Beaten.
Correct. And then 2 days later they said, it shouldn't have been a penalty.
Yeah. We're sitting at the top of the league. Hey, we're top of the league, mate, for the rank calls. That's our claim to fame now. We're top of the league of that. I'll come out. Just tell them that. We'll make a wee league up and stick them at the top of that. They'll be happy with that. Well, I'm
remember
not happy with it.
Remember you were saying about the Fair Play League and all the rest of it? Remember what I told you about Postecoglou? He went 6 weeks with him and never got a yellow card. Not as much as a yellow card. He went to Spurs in his first 15 games. He got 46 yellows and 3 reds.
There you are.
There you go. What does that tell you?
It's all there in front of you. See, like I said, people out with the corrupt trumpets are running our game. Actually, look at the stats of all these things. You can see it. It's blatant, mate. It's totally blatant now. They're all sitting there laughing and listen to them. They're all going mental, but they know it. They know it. They're sitting there laughing because they actually know what's going on. It's blatant cheating, mate. Blatant. Well, don't convince me any different, mate. And if you're saying that we need referees, well, we've not got referees. So if you've not got referees, you've not got a game, and we've not got a game. Let's be honest about it.
I can't take it serious. I can only take our European games serious because this is all rigged. Domestic games are rigged.
Mm-hmm. Because they must get the Champions League money, mate. This is what's about. They have
to
get
that's what it's all about now. £40 million. They've got it all set up so they get that every season. They want their hands on that 40 million. They've got their hands on it and they're keeping it. And they're doing what they need to do to keep it.
We're all shouting about closing gaps and all that. We need to do this. And we think we're on a level surface here to compete and try and win the league. It's nothing to do with winning the league anymore, mate. The league's done before it's even kicked a ball every season. Because they're lifting up 40 million. No matter what, mate, they're lifting up 40 million.
And they've got set up for them to get that 40 million.
And they've got placemen all over.
It's not about football. It's not about us and them. It's about 40 million.
Exactly, man. And they've got placemen all over the place.
You think back, mate, and you think back, Dessers should have scored that, won the game for us at Tynecastle. The chances we missed up at Aberdeen when we were in Mucku just to go in, a goal down. And we get the equaliser, we should finish the game off one comfortably. We should be sitting with 5 more points. Kilmarnock, we were awful. Should have maybe seen the game out as a draw, give 6 more points, and we should beat the D right at Ibrox every day of the week and give another. There's 8 more points. That's where we should be sitting. Yeah, that's where we should be sitting and put them under real pressure. We've done some of this to ourselves.
We've had the worst injuries in our history. Last 2 or 3 years, we've had the worst run of injuries.
Maybe last season. This year, the numbers aren't as bad. Listen, there's serial casualties, but the injuries aren't that bad, mate. We've had bits and pieces that you get. All better than you come, mate, and then we'll go to the
but see the games you just mentioned there. There's many of us, and I mean no Rangers fan that I've heard is complaining about referees in any of the games we lose points. None of them. We took it on the chin. It was our fault we dropped the points. We're not greeting about any of that. That's a fair comment. Right, what we are greeting about is what's happening out with the games, mate. You can't say it's right, mate, because it's no. Did you hear any incidents in the last game at Parkhead when they won comfortable? Oh, nothing at all. Nothing to see here, by the way. They're playing this game comfortable. Everybody's all happy and, it's all going to plan here. But as soon as we put a challenge up, as soon as we come close, as soon as there's any tightness in a game, we need to do something here. All of a sudden, there's a controversial decision made. All of a sudden. It's the referees and lines are terrified, mate. They're terrified. And they need to come out and admit it. And they don't admit it. And I'm talking about the non-Celtic supporting ones, because that Connor and that Muir would never admit it. But they too are Celtic supporters. There's no doubt about it, mate.
AK.
It's a fair point, Albert. It's a good discussion tonight, Albert. Oxshare, you make a lot of valid points there, and you're right. We have shot ourselves in the foot. There's no doubt about it with the performances and results up until the last day.
We should have won it. We should have won it, Tynecastle, yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. And you're right. And you're right. And every assertion you made there, but there is the fact there, as Albert's just mentioned, Willie Collins protecting his officials because he doesn't want them exposed for what they are, and that's why he'll no give up their allegiances to whatever. I mean, if that was to come out there, I would say you're talking about 80% of them, maybe more, support them. So is it any wonder that they're getting all these officials' decisions? Because then it would expose them for what they are. So is it right as us as a support to lambast Clement for his all-firm results? Because he's not just up against Celtic, he's up against the officials.
Correct.
Aye. Clement, aye. Listen, Mandy made the point about the 2 cup finals. I mean, arguably, we should have won the 2 of them, bouncing the ball. The goal was chapped off, was Saft. Bob Ger, and Raskin. I think he tickled Joe Hart, under the arm or something,
Look, can you hear me all right, Ox?
Aye,
that's fine. You get a set piece at any game at football, especially at top level, like a corner kick, and it gets crossed into the box. There's a load of big 6-foot laddies all shoving one another. That was only one example of it. It all stems back, and I'm not going to harp on about it, all stems back to 2012 when it all happened to Rangers, that they seen and grabbed an opportunity, and they knew they were cakewalking into the Champions League every year. Every year, like Albert says, they've got to have that income every year to keep themselves, not keep themselves afloat, but they've seen an opportunity to get themselves financially out of sight, and they grabbed it with both hands and knew that they are getting a challenge. Well, you've just detailed all the catalogue of events of what's happening now. That's a must that they've got to keep that coming in every year. And I totally agree with every single solitary word you're saying. But we're Rangers, we must get better. We must win the league again and win trophies to satisfy ourselves, satisfy our support. That's the only way for us is forward now. The rest is history. We'll just have to get better. Am I what?
Are you saying, AK, that you think the manager's due a bit of slack because of the big decisions that went against them? Is that what you're saying?
Well, I think it's factors. I mean, Mandy's mentioned it there as well. It's 2 cup finals that we've been cheated on. We've been disallowed the Dessers goal in the league game there last year. I mean, these are all factors. Instead of having 0 wins and 6 against them, we could have 3 wins and 3 defeats, or 3 wins and a couple of draws. You know what I mean? There's been one game where they did absolutely humiliate us. The first game where we played them there, we had 3 weeks, a new squad to prepare them for it. And we were quite rightly beaten. But seeing the other 5 games, there's been 1 goal between us in all the other 5 games, and our one ended up a draw. They could have been reversed. So I think they are factors. And the results for Gerrard left the club, to then Gio, to Beale, to Clement. These are factors in how their results have been going for me. So I think Clement's been unfairly vilified by a section of support for that.
Just to touch on that, Alec, he shouldn't be cut any slack for the games out with the Old Firm that we lost points. That was just dreadful performances, mate. We should have won some of the games. Right? So you shouldn't be cut any slack for that. So don't look, anybody out there is trying to say we're stuck up for Camoy and we should be cutting them slack for everything that's happened. No, not saying that at all, mate. Some of the games, most of the games, we should have won. We should have won these games, right? So no slack for that. But the ones that's you've got controversial decisions in, aye, definitely we're pulling it up because it's happening season in, season out. Season in, season out. £40 million goes out the window. If season in, season out. The Rangers board and the CEO and the new chairman don't really realise that. That's the prize, mate. Keep your eye on the prize and watch what's happening in that league because it happens every year, mate. Every single year non-stop. This year it will no bother because they're 11 points ahead and they've already told you they're going to go undefeated. So this league's, in their mind, this league's done, gone. It's not done in my book, mate. There's still 3 quarters of a season to play. I don't throw any towel in. I don't care if they're 30 points ahead. I still wouldn't throw the towel in. You play to the end. You play to the mathematically impossible that you can't win the league. You don't throw the towel in too early, mate. As far as I'm concerned, I'm up for a fight. I know Clement's up for a fight, and I know he's going to get this squad up for a fight. Whether we manage to do any better than we've already done and close the gap and win the Scottish Cup, it's there to be done. It's just there to be done. So let's go on and do it. And don't let this mob away with this carry on with these referees and call that out every time, every turn. I want the captaincy taken off a Tavernier as well and giving it to somebody in the middle of that park with a mouth. Somebody that's going to harass these referees. I want every Rangers player to give these referees hard time. I want every Rangers player to claim for everything on the park from now on. Like every other team against us, they claim for everything. We walk about silently like Boy Scouts. I want to hear a Rangers team. I want to see an aggressive Rangers team. I don't want to talk about it and great about it. Let's see it. I want to see it on the park. I want us to start winning these games, all these games.
We'll stumble on a leader. I didn't see it coming, if I'm honest, Albert. I didn't see me asking becoming a leader. If you'd have said to me 2 months ago he was going to be turned into this player that he's played consistently, solid for 2 months, mate. He's taken the whole thing in the throat and just lifting it on his own, and obviously you want others to come with him on the journey.
Absolutely, man. I'd hand it to him in a minute. He's the only one that opens his mouth. He's the only one that says and moans and greets and shouts. He's just at these players, at referees. He's in his ear all the time and he keeps getting told, go away. That's what they keep saying to him. If he's got that armband on, that clown beating, can't he tell him to go away? It's already agreed pre-season or whatever it was that the captain can talk to you. And we're asking, will we at him constantly, mate, constantly. And that's what I want, because I'm sick of it happening against us. And we all sit back with our thumbs up, our bums all good. Oh, it happens, it just happens. Well, it's not going to happen anymore without some response for us. Let's get going here. Let's get this club going again.
See, Albert, the problem with that is, if we've got 8 players on a yellow card, it'd be fair to open their mouth because they could get sent off quite easily. Because if we can see what's going on, you can be sure the players know what's going on. Mm-hmm. They've got to know what's going on. I know these silly schoolboys. They've all played the game long enough.
But that's the point. You're right, mate. Absolutely right. But the point I'm making, if Raskin's the captain and he's the only one that's talking, McGregor got Balogun boot and Vickers boot.
He wasn't going. Did you notice he wasn't going to book Balogun?
No, he wasn't.
And he walked away. And then McGregor got right in his face, and then he went and done him. I couldn't believe it. Huh? I saw that. I couldn't believe it.
Then you said
that was early in the game. I thought we've had it.
27 minutes, mate. 24 minutes into the game, I think it was. He gets booked.
I thought he might do him the tackle. I thought he might do him. He wasn't there. I thought he's got after it. It's too early. And then he's in his face, and then he gives him. I thought, oh no, that's how it's going to be today.
It was, mate. It was.
Aye, McGregor's right in his face. You can see him yapping right in his face.
Happens every game, mate, with him. Every game. In fact, see McGregor. William, listen to this. Listen to this moment.
Ian Broom did it for years.
Aye, but listen, see that McGregor? He commits more professional fouls than any other player in Scottish football. He commits and doesn't get booked for any of them. That's how bad this is.
Big Balogun's want to melt him. That's what he's want to do.
I want to melt him.
Oh well, but you're not in the park. You need somebody in the park to melt him right at the start of the season. You'll maybe get a 2-game ban, but he can lie in the hospital for 6 months. That'll do me.
Big Balogun, we missed out on him. We should have got him 10 years ago, you know.
Oh, aye.
Correct.
Aye.
Yeah, he's a good player. Right, Bob Chair, last word for your good self, mate.
Well, my way of thinking is there's a lot of great points tonight. I love your enthusiasm, Albert. I share it, mate. Believe you me, you know that. The only way you scunner that lot is to beat them. And we've not done it recently. And we must find a way around this to get better as a team, get Clement to get the boys going and to beat them and get back into this league race. And we can certainly make 100,000% effort, as we will, to win the Scottish Cup. So, just licking the wounds for Sunday, let it go by. We've got a game at Dundee at the weekend, and the future's bright, and I think the future's Rangers. So thanks for having me there again, lads. Great discussions. Brilliant to hear from you all. I'll hear from you later on in the week. Okay, take care.
Cheers, Bob. Cheers. Good to hear from you. William.
Aye, great show tonight. I've not been on for a while, but I've been listening. So just watch what you're doing. I've been listening all the time. But aye, great show, great chat. All bear, great to hear you. Heart in the sleeve. I feel the same myself. Get right in there. Say what you feel, because if you don't say what you feel at the time, you regret it later on. You really do. But thanks for taking my calls, Jer. Keep all the good work. And
cheers, mate. Good to hear
nice to hear from everybody.
Yep.
And all the
good
best
to hear
folks.
From you.
Cheers, bud.
And I'll speak to you soon. Keep all the good
cheers,
work.
Mate. Oh, we lost Mandy. You there, Mandy? Last word.
Nah, still here, Oxter. It's on mute. Thank you so much for taking my call.
It's a self-help group, Mandy. It's a self-help group. We don't charge.
I know. Let's just hope we get, because for all the money and all these big players, and you see the money they've spent on all their players and put it against their players, it's pittance, and we still went out and gave them a game. So
we're getting better, Mandy. We're getting better. Hopefully it keeps going. Yeah.
We just need to keep that going. So thank you so much, guys, for the call. And thanks for all your hard work all through the year. Love listening to Rangers Radio, as you very well know. And if I don't see you all, have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year and all the best for 2025. Thank you.
That was very nice. Imagine, we don't usually get nice words like that all day, do we?
No, we don't. But it's nice. It was nice.
Aye,
we changed.
Yeah, thanks very much, Mandy. Thanks a lot. And that includes you, AK, as well. There you go.
Aye, thanks, Mandy.
You, guys.
All the best. All the best.
I'm not sure.
AK.
Yeah, it was an interesting show tonight. I expected it would be, but great to have the callers in there. We're all hurting, we're all emotional, and we're getting it off the chest, you know. And that's what the platform gives us here, Oxford. You know, the guys in Rangers Radio, they sterling work behind the scenes. All the panelists and that gear up their time. So we want to hear the callers coming in there, and thankfully Mandy, Bob, Jer and William did. So no, I really enjoyed the show tonight with yourself and Albert. Good to hear the CEO is backing our manager and he's calling out the SFA. So I want the support to get behind the manager and let's be collective in unity and let's show, you know, start showing our feathers here, burst our chest, and let's go and see what happens for the rest of the season. But thanks again, mate.
Yeah. Did you mention chest there? You've got this thing about Seema's new team, ain't you?
On the breast.
Albert.
Aye, it's a good night, mate. Good night. Bob, Jer, Mandy, William. Good callers, mate. Good calls, good points. I enjoyed it. Well, I didn't enjoy ranting and raving, but there you go. You've got to, as Bob Jer say, you've got to say it, innit? You've got to get it off your chest and say it. Say it the way you say it, mate. And I defy anybody to come up and give an argument against what we're saying tonight, mate. It's just gone too far now, and it has to be stopped and stopped now. They'll still be sitting in their trenches in their entrenched positions within the SFA, thinking, we're bulletproof. Nobody can get near us. It's not true, mate. It can be done. All we need is some allies, and it can be done, mate. Get these people out and out now. But anyway, good night, and come on, the Rangers. I'm up for the fight. Come on, let's have it.
Yep. Thanks to Mandy, Bob, Jer, and William for joining us. Thanks to AK and Bob Jer, Albert for doing the show. Fox and Old School Blue, who beaver away tirelessly in the background, making sure this all works. Thanks to the two gentlemen. Thanks to everybody for listening. Rangers Radio will be back tomorrow night. It's Wednesday. Guess what it is. Thanks for listening. Take it away, Old School Blue.